Well, let me show you that we're learning ERICH APAYIM. This is a work that's really printed by REBBE ELIEZER SHLOMO SCHICK. It's a person who, from a cultural background, is like what we would call Satmar Chassidim. But it turns out he got involved in BRESLOV, and he worked very, very hard publishing these little books. There were many thousands of little books that he put out, and he was very proud of the fact that he owed the publisher a fortune. He was already trying to get money together, but he really wasn't writing. He was a person that wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. He wrote really beautiful things. Now, he was taking on a set of serious problems. The problem is of shalom bias. This is that the man is afraid to come home because his wife is unhappy and should start up with him. So we see that what do you do? Because if you take there are different paths to this. And so he wants to teach us in the words of, and the thinking of Rabbeinu Kodesh, Rabbi NACHMAN of BRESLOV, exactly how it is that you can work out a situation, a practical situation where your house is full of fights. He described that in the last year. Let's come over here and see what he says now. So he said, "Okay, Misha yesh lo tsoros meish," to a person who has pain from his wife. Niskalko etzlo hashalom bias, and his shalom bias is corrupted over there. Tzarek lihis yashev heitev v'daber shelo yipol ayida etzoysev v'tach belosav the yisurim. So let me translate this long statement. He says, the person has to think about it carefully. V'daber shelo yipol ayida etzoysev, tach belosav, so that the other side has different kinds of plots against us. Different kinds of weapons he uses against us. That the person shouldn't fall into the Yisurim, Kashim, Marim, Beguruim, Yoser, continuously go down to the path of pain. So he said, okay, and so this really could refer to a lot of things, but this is, he says, when you come home, and the place where you live and your mind comes to rest, so to speak, it should be a place of peace, but it's not. So okay, Sarek Losim Zos El Libo. The shol is asked, he has to ask himself, this person. Let's say it's true. Sheyesh lo yisurim, a manner that he's really being punished by her all the time, by yisurim kashim the sovel. The yisurim are too, he can't bear it. So this is the exact, that you want that he should embitter his whole life with fights, maribos, Oliver Roch, Machababayas, or to run out. So there's all different kinds of things out there in the dark. Places which are hidden and places which are difficult to find, and we'll call them with all kinds of corruption. What does this man do now that he's had this terrible fight in the house? The advice here and the different paths they have. They're very, very difficult from that etzem asara. So he says, but the truth is that Rebbe Nachman says he will shine a tremendous light onto a Jewish man. He has this he's talking the male aspect of our relationships, you who are the man. The Begalach and Mefarsim, he says in the Kutim Meralche, the Galav Simon Pei, Ki Ikar HaShalom Hu Lachaver Shnecha Fachim Daika. The whole concept of Shalom, which is in Kabbalah, it's called Yichud. He says is to bring opposites together. Val Yivahol Lachav Rayonech. Im Atach of Rocha Be'ish Echad Shehud HaHefach. They see, let's say that don't let's mess up your thinking. You meet a person, let's say, for example, you meet a person that you don't like. So he says his thinking is completely agamri b'daitach. He doesn't think like you at all. This is a tremendous idea for politics as well. So he says, it seems to you that's impossible that you could ever get along with this person in any way at all. So he says that Rebbe Nachman is saying that Adarabba Zechu Ikar HaShalom. What in fact is peace? that we should make an effort to bring shalom in these two opposites, completely into these two opposites. So we see that also what happens is in the flow of light from Hashem, is that we see it coming from a very high place, and he's bringing Shnei Hafalchim B'mrov. He takes male and female from the higher level, that two opposites, and he puts them together. That is how creation is made. He said, Bein Ish, Bein Eish, Bein Mayim, for example, he makes a Shemayim out of fire and water. Because these are things that normally do not go together. Because came Ish ve'Isha, and certainly you have this situation, a man and a woman. Shebetevim, because the natures of them, and you could go back to Kabbalah, he says the man is Or Yasher, he's going straight all the time. And the woman is Or Choser, she goes around in circles. Hem Shnei Chafkim Legamri, they're completely opposite. When they get married, what does the man really have to do? And this is, he wants to start talking about this. He's going to, you see some of it right now. When you get married, the main avodah of the Baal, who to be completely one with her, Shalom Ba'al. Sha'az daika, Hashkina Sharuya B'neicha, because then you see the Shkina Sharuya B'neicha. Brahma Chazal, Isha Baila Mesamcha, this is the rule that have to be. A woman has to be brought simcha from her husband. Isha Mesbaila Mesamcha, her husband will make her joyous. Meaning that that's the thing that the man has to do. L'tzarech leida shebederek noam v'av v'yichol l'hafach afilu hafchi legamri minekotza lekotza. Let's translate. But in a sweet way, v'ava, a loving way. Yichol l'dun l'hafach afilu hafchi hafchi. You can turn around even the opposite of the opposites. I mean, they're completely and totally inside out, turned around the gamri minekotza lekotza, from one end to the next. In other words, you completely change your relationship with your wife. But to do this, along the way to doing this, you have to really start learning how to judge your wife. You also have to look at her as if she's right. She's done her judgment, as that what she is saying is true and right. Because this is what happens. Because of the tremendous pain that women have, the kavod, that they have from their children, and just what life itself is. As I'm mischilin the riv imbaila, she starts getting angry and upset. She is upset, and she starts fighting with her husband. Now this is the eitzah that he wants to bring to us in this lesson. He says, "V'im sheyiskayim lechem ve'elim meshivim." But if you just, I read it wrong. But you close your mouth, you don't say anything, you just listen to it. And you don't answer her. Everything will become sweeter. But the opposite is true. When she makes accusations, she starts talking, and she starts seeing things wrong, and the tone is very, very, very painful. So what to do? Take it. Take it. That's what savlanos means. This is the whole book of this book. This is how to bear life, because life is full of pain. Your wife, when she feels pain, she'll say something. That's where the machlokas starts, when you answer back and you try to show her the errors of her thinking. Defend yourself. Says, don't go that way. That's not the way. You have to bear it. You have to bear it your life long with her, and it'll produce tremendous results. We'll see more in the next year. This is Baruch Flashman, Tikkun, Elevator Kolel.